Georgian myth. A Georgian myth. I had my Bluetooth in earlier. I know y'all probably can hear me. But make sure y'all can hear me. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure. Boom. Make sure y'all hear G. Boom, boom. Make sure y'all hear G. Boom. Okay. Georgiana. I'm gonna go in there and kiss that. Just like that. Are you? I'm just trying to show y'all how important it is for y'all to understand this bitch black. You black power, aboriginal, whoever the fuck you is, you gotta understand that this bitch is playing the game to play with the motherfucking earth by standing it up. Until you lay it down, you won't forever be lost. Talking about who, man, we melanated people versus motherfucking Mongolians and non-melanated people. These hoes in cahoots, the north and the east is in cahoots, and y'all gotta get y'all directions down packed to who the fuck you dealing with. Zabaria. I'm gonna show y'all all this shit what I did. I'm gonna show y'all all this shit what I did. I'm gonna show y'all all this shit what I did. But I'm going right back where I went earlier. Y'all can hear me. Boom. Ostrican. You take that C. Anything spelled with a C, you just put a K right there. So we know them C's A-A. Okay? Ostrican. So that's Austria. We already know, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. We looking at this. It's the tutorial map, and this gonna always keep Russia and China in cahoots. But those Russians are Anglo-Saxon too, out of Austria. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Whole lot of Austria. What it is right here. Let me show y'all. This is a tutorial map. Let me show y'all this right. You see this map? This is a tutorial. This is the map of tutorial right here too, right? And right there in the right hand corner, that will be the south. You put a big circle around that side over there, that'd be the south. And on this side over here, that big landmass right over South America is. Ain't no southern and northern hemisphere. Ain't none of that ladies be down flat. Let me get on there. I told you when I catch their ass in Gwinnett, I'm gonna bust their ass up. When we get the new Gwinnett, we gonna bust their ass up. Now you look at the bottom of that map where that man pointed right there. That whole land mass, that whole ice sheet go from one side of the world to the other, the so-called world. See, that ice even extend past the South America. It goes past that and loops and start looping around. So we know our backs is up against ice on this end over here. And it stretches all the way back up under Africa Pass into Australia. So you mean it's and it's tubular. Tubular means flat. Tubular means flat. So that ice right there, the bottom of that milk stretch all the way across that motherfucker. Huh? So that's gonna be Antarctica. All the good land is melanated land, man, and all the continents is over here besides Asia and Europe. The Eurasians who already own those mountains in the northeast. Y'all be tripping, bro. I'm trying to put you on some game right here. Boom. Trying to put some game right here. See right there? I can't blow it up though. You can see the little cheap people that is Moscow. Always Russian these Anglo-Saxons and these motherfucking Mongolians bit in cahoots, and they are the fathers of the Europeans in Germany, and then past Germany you got France. Going on down to Spain. Christopher Columbus was coming from Spain. And the only way him sailing west headed towards South America, if you lay it down like I say and put that tilt off that globe on it and put north where it's supposed to be, then Christopher Columbus will be headed west. Then Japan will be sitting where it's supposed to be, sitting in the east, not to the right of you over there by now in the east where we found it at on that motherfucking 1587 Monte map. Where we found it where it's supposed to be at. On all these maps that we've been looking at. Because it's flat, man. Watch this. See what else I got in here. See, all the Singola. So this crustomer, they got to be some part of Alaska. What kind of crust is that? This crustomer. I'm gonna get off into all that because there goes Siberia right there. You see Siberia? Singola. Singolo. In Siberia. That's Siberia right there. That's Siberia. So all this Russia, so that's Siberia. Siberia is right next to what? Alaska. Been told y'all, man, these folks been cutting and playing around with this ice coming over on our side of the earth and taking over and dominating us. And the reason why the East run the North because they gave them the space program, man. They gave them a space program. The space program came from the Soviet Union. The Soviets was the so-called Russians, and they was mixed up with the Mongolians in that east. And they the ones who make the rocket ships. They the ones who gave them the space travel. They the ones who told them they had the technology to go. And that's when the United States started racing and trying to beat Russia to go to the moon. All this shit been a goddamn script, nigga. Everything about our life been a motherfucking script, nigga. If they had the technology to go to the moon, why wouldn't the Soviets just go for themselves? Why wouldn't the Soviets just go to the moon for their motherfucking self? Because they been to run the script. And the Russians and the Mongolians, the so-called Inuits, the so-called Eskimos, who, just like they said, not the Eskimos, they said not the Negro too. When they go to some of the descendants of Ham and all that, they make a distinguishment between the African and the Negro. But we all melanated though, lay it down, we're good about that. But they said not the Eskimo, he the Inuit. That's why he in charge of all the technology coming out of the east. They done took the sun, got the sun all over the Japan flag. They know what they done did. Singola, that's Siberia right there. That's Siberia. Siberia is 8 miles to separate Siberia from Alaska, from Russia, from Siberia. It's the Bering Strait they want to be a myth. But it really was the Anian Strait. See, man, I've been studying this shit for a minute. And I ain't never played with you niggas. Now that right there, they said that's Colgate. I'm gonna get off into that too. That's Colgate. I read something up on that. I'm trying to find. Okay, boom. So, Buddha. Pakistan, Kazakhstan, all them stands, all those are the Western Anglo-Saxon. That's the brotherhood between the Anglo-Saxon that can't be broken, the Khazarian and Ashkenazi Jew. And the Jew is the European Arab that wrote the books of Moses, and the Anglo-Saxon by way of Sotar Christos the general in Alexander the Great honor by way of Philip of Macedonia, his daddy, which is the bloodline of the Piso, the royal British Piso, the one who wrote Jesus into place. This is the Christianity route for the north, for the north, the northwest. They ain't the same people, man. These people that chose to ride with the East, do the Russian. They got a real hat trick going on right now. I'm gonna figure this shit out though. They got a real hat trick going on. I'm gonna figure it out or die trying. See that? Euro. Euro West and the Near West Euro Mountains, see? In the Euro Mountains, Ventura. I'm just verifying and showing you this where the fuck this shit is at. Ventura. Now hold up. Now this is straight out shows out early. You see that Tatar? So all this the Tatarian map gonna show it all. Putin released this shit, man. See right there? The Tatarian Strait. So they go Russia. So if that's Russia, this over here got to be Alaska, huh? So when they gonna show us this wrap around this globe, they can't. Cause they playing with the land masses, man. Y'all let them. They can't. Go back. I don't think they see it. Let me see. Gotta make sure they be able to see this. Okay, boom. And it's the Sea of Japan down here. Man, these folks can play some of the game with the positioning and where Alaska sits and all this cutting the ice and all. And they didn't play east to it's time out, man. All you gotta do is lay it down, you'll see these hoes. When you lay it down, that material. When you lay it down, you gonna see them. All the name material itself is an external of Japanese origin, is a acronym of Japanese origin and was not used by the Qing dynasty in Chinese Manchu. Russians are not considered Anglo-Saxons. Slavic, but they Anglo-Saxons though. See, this is where they went and lay in the bed with the East. Say they Khazarians. Asking out, that's a split. That's a double-headed eagle. That's a double-headed phoenix that I told y'all about a long time. Long time. You didn't know. Now what I did. Now there go Alaska right there. Now they gonna show it from the right to the left. Now they show it to the right. It's the upside down. Gave the beast the power. The power he gave him was a little melanin to give him the Asian persuasion to come down there and convince you that you ain't shit and you supposed to listen to these people. And the Mongolian right up with it because he want to feed them all the technology, all the rocket ships and all the stories about space because all that shit came from the Soviet Union. The first space travel was with something they called the Vimana. And the Vimana was finna be and get into the hands of Hitler, but they stopped it before it got to Germany and let them all know y'all got to play to run this script. This world script with this globe shit they've been playing it since I don't know how long the motherfuckers run the globe in the play with folks. This is the motherfuckers playing. But anyway, let's go look at it. Alaska. Ain't number 8 miles. Ain't number 8 miles. 8 miles. We know already know about the Barron Street or 9th Street. We already know. Boom. So that's the United States right there. They go Russia right there. Now it's back on the left side, but Alaska. Now look, where Alaska at? So what county that? So all that up there, Alaska, and all that shit up under the United States is Alaska. Y'all don't see? I did a video when I was in, so y'all gonna see where the shit at. On top and the bottom of the United States. Hmm? Always gonna be some folks shit. Cause we ain't gonna pay attention. We ain't gonna hold them in there. There it is. That's Siberia and Russia right there. That's Alaska right there. They go to Bering Strait, the Bering Peninsula right there. So if that's Alaska in the U.S., that's Alaska in the U.S. for what Canada? When Canada get their deals? Cause them the British. So the British gotta be in cahoots with who? The Alaskan Eskimo, the so-called Inuit nigga, the so-called Mexican that came down and our shit and got all our shit, nigga. These Mongolians running these niggas, man. Y'all running for these motherfucking scripts. Y'all going for these scripts. There go Siberia and Russia right there. They're the Bering Strait, 8 miles separated. Why you gotta take a goddamn? Why you just can't go through the back door right there? If it ain't never 8 miles from Alaska to Russia, why they doing up with all these flight patterns and all these layover flights to go from one place to another? And the shit sitting right there next door. Once y'all put it in y'all mind and lay it down flat, they ain't gonna be able to lie to you no more, man. On Alaska. Fox Island. Oh shit. Oh shit. What is this up? I put this up before. So I was trying to find out what that crusting was, and went right back to Tartaria, and this what he found, and this what they said is this is the same spot where they said that the 10 lost tribes of Israel found in Tartaria. So they want to make all of the myths. They just make everything a myth. So the 10 lost tribes are myths, because ain't no such thing as Israel. Ain't no such thing as no Israel until they start writing the story about Abraham, and then they still ain't gonna be no Israel until you goddamn name Joseph Israel. So ain't no Israelites until Joseph. And these are people that are writing this story, and this the part of history that they done took out of this motherfucker, and this why the fuck you can't understand what the fuck going on. See what I'm talking about? This why you can't understand what the fuck going on. They showing you right here. This the place where they saying the 10 lost tribes, because these Jews are the ones who wrote the motherfucking books of Moses before they came and got usurped by the motherfucking Anglo-Saxon nigga, they brother. But the other brother gonna always ride because they own their landmass. Russell gonna always ride with China. They own the same landmass, nigga, and they in cahoots. That's why they call that shit Eurasia. Europeans and Asia, they're the only two continents that don't belong to niggas. And you niggas is not Asiatics, and you niggas is not Semitic. And they got you with Semitics through the language, like I tell you niggas every day. You know what I'm talking about? Like I tell you niggas every day. You are not Semitic, nigga. You the niggas. Y'all niggas don't want to be the niggas. We spoke hammering, nigga. All this shit come out of hammer. That's the language they supposed that motherfucking the so-called sky dad supposed been speaking to Abel, cause that was the language of the era. Hammeric. That's the ancient Ethiopian language before they forced the Ethiopians to convert. Before they went and made up those so-called Canaanites. There was a one of Canaanites over there, man. Where the Canaanite temples at? Ain't nothing over there. It ain't nowhere today. Okay, what else? What else said? What am I, my nigga? See. It's supposed to be it's 12 tribes, but it's 10 law tribes. That's what they say right there. It said 10. The more we tripping, and then it leads right back to Georgia. So right there in Austria, in Austria, go back, put that shit back up there. The Austria shit. See, Austria, that's the farthest you gonna be able to come out of Europe before they switch it up and go to the Khazarian and the motherfucking angle and the Russian motherfuckers they got them on the same peninsula with the Mongolians. They over that's the Asian, that's the Asian, them Asian mountains, man. That Asia ain't never belonged to motherfucking Africa. All that bullshit they've been trying to teach us all the time. No, Africa is Africa and Asia is Asia, nigga, and South America is South America, nigga, and Australia is Australia. Australia is a broke off part of motherfucking Africa. So where they continents at? You got North America, South America. I just showed the Antarctica. I just showed the Antarctica ain't nothing but a big old sheet of ice. I just showed you where they got this Zavaria shit. We just looked at it right quick. That's just on a whim. Let me go back and show you what this sheet of ice right here. Show you this sheet of ice. What that do? That right there. Boom. See that? That's South America on the left. That's Africa right on the bottom. Of that bottom, that whole sheet ain't nothing. That whole thing is Antarctica. And that ice go from one side of the world to the other side of the world. And they got New Guinea sitting in an ice on both sides of the world. So when you gonna make them lay this motherfucker down? See what I'm trying to tell y'all? What I'm trying to tell niggas? What I'm trying to tell a nigga said motherfucker they got the see the globe is constructed with a tilt. And when they stand north up, they tilt it 23, 22, what it is. I think it's 23.5, 22.5, they got a tilt on it. That's the axis. So when we lay that bitch back, we got to put the tilt back on it. That's the only way this shit gonna make sense to goddamn redo what they done, man. They goddamn figure this shit out. You put that tilt back on that motherfucker. You put that tilt back on that motherfucker. Christopher Columbus trip going west gonna start to make sense. Japan being sitting in that spot where I showed y'all on that 1587 Monte map where I showed y'all where it really sits. It don't sit directly to the motherfucking east over there. Cause that's Australian and shit over there. It don't sit right there. It sit in the east. And you draw that line across there and have north, east, and on the bottom you're gonna have south, west. On the top is north, east, but there ain't no top. There ain't no top out here. Laying down, the mother was sitting over in those directions over there. In the north would be the Anglo-Saxon, Brits, and all the Germanic motherfuckers. The Germanic motherfuckers don't mean German. Germanic means the Germanic Anglo-Saxons. The non-melanated beings of the earth. I ain't saying they don't supposed to be. I'm just saying where they come from, where they supposed to be, and who they are. They beasts. And the technology they've been using is for their existence, period. Because they can't mix and mingle with the rest of the world because they will become non-existent. That's why they stay to themselves where? In the north. And the north ain't on top of your motherfucking head, dog. On top of no water, and you riding sideways on no ball and going up north ain't that way, and you don't go down south down into no damn ground. So when you gonna start navigating, using your head to understand that these folks in the north is getting the power from the east, and the east sit back and let them run all the shit they want to, because they know they gotta get all the technology from them. All the rocket throwers they wanna buy, all that shit they buy straight from them Japs. They been the leaders of technology, and they gave these niggas a space strip. Them motherfucking Eurasians, them Europeans and Asians, them motherfuckers gave the Soviet Union gave these motherfuckers this space strip. Why you think the Arab ain't trying to go to no damn space? Cause he know it's bullshit, he know that they script. He fought them anyway. Them Jews sat right down there and wrote them goddamn books of Moses. Wrote them books of Moses, the 5 books of Moses, the Pentateuch. And by the time the white man come back in there, them motherfucking Arabs had already took Egypt. They had already usurped Egypt and all that shit. Them white folk came from them Anglo-Saxons came with up motherfucker and built that library at Alexandria and then wrote their first tourism Bible and took the books of Moses for themselves. Boy, they started pushing their Jesus shit. Jesus come from them. That's the Roman Catholic Church. The Romans are the Anglo-Saxons, them the Canadians, them the Brits. The purebred, the Englishmen now. Yeah, we speaking Anglo-Saxon here today. That's what we do. And that's how it went. And then when they take the book, when they take the book and get the book for themselves, when they take the book, they ain't got no daddy. That's up north. That's what make them sovereign over everybody, cause all you motherfuckers accept that this world is a globe and that it came to an end in a flood, and every man on this motherfucking earth came out of Noah's dick. The beast. And that's why he's sovereign over everybody until that Mongolian get ready to step up in his ass. He's sovereign over you because you, in your mind, in your religious mind state, in your subliminal subconscious mind, you thinking this motherfucker the father. That's why you think this bitch God. Because you believe in the Noah shit. You think Noah had 3 sons, 3 races. What the other 3 races was? Japheth, that's the Armenians and Europeans and mixture, right? Japheth. See, me and what you call it other night, me and my nigga, Copper Man, he's supposed to got back at me. They said, man, Copper Man was here the other night, we going through the Sham thing. See, KRS-One came with the Sham is a black man from Africa. No, he ain't. Sham is the motherfucking Oriental nigga. That's how he went, and that's how you goddamn get yourself, your language up to a Semitic language. Sham is the Semitic, man. Sham is the Oriental. Or the original Oriental is the Asian. The original Asian is the Oriental. Them the Mongolians, nigga. And Ham is the nigga. Which they gave him a son named Canaan, which going to curse Ham. And once he did all that, they fuck around and gave all Ham descendants and all Ham birthrights over to Abram. That's why they put Ham on Abram's name and said we gonna be enslaved to these other 2 races forever. And the 2 races we gonna be enslaved to are the Mongolian and the Arab. This is before the white man come put his 2 cents back in, and then they got to come back in 622, and then come with the Islam shit. All of them come out the same motherfuckers writing this shit, man. But this ain't no nigga got no business. Just like your daddy used to tell you ain't got no business being in nobody military, no motherfucker white man army, you ain't got no business fucking with no white man religion. And all that shit, all that religion is white folk shit. Y'all niggas be around this bitch trip. There was an article right there on this damn screen. That ice going from one side of the world to the other. And that ain't the bottom of no goddamn map. That's your back against the wall. That map is drawn from a top view. So lay your phone down and hold your neck down and look at it like it's supposed to be, like you look down at your feet. When you look down at your feet, you standing straight up, nigga. Go through this shit again. They try to tell me see I missed anything. But I'm gonna get off to that. I'm gonna do some more. I gotta go sleep though. Gonna run me a premium on this bitch and go to sleep. Y'all know what I do. Y'all know what I do on this bitch. So this the best kept. You see that shit said Moscow right there? So you tell me the North and the East ain't in cahoots. You tell me these folks ain't in cahoots with these so-called they call it the Eskimos Inuits. They don't want you to talk about them. Cause they been in this ice over there playing, man. The sun come down the valley. The sun telling you, showing you who his people is. The sun hate the North. We know it hate the North. Alaska ain't getting no sun. These not our people, man. Ain't no black and white duality and all that old bullshit, man. These not our people, man. And these people gonna do everything they can to keep us fucked up on our own land, man. And this just they side, this where they come from. This they shit over there. How the fuck them Brits, them North usurp? That's how they usurp. That's why we Northwest. That's why they call them the Noahs, the Northwest. Man, nigga, why the no whites? Nigga want holler no whites, take your ass back over there. So that's how we become the belly of the beast. That's why the United States of America is the belly of the motherfucking beast, dog. Cause we been usurping. They got us messed up. We a whole nother racial stock. They done turned us. That's why they make us keep on doing this hip hop, this savage shit. And that's how they make them Africans not like I want to know what this Christina is, cause I think they turned into Christina. I just looked some shit like that up. But that's right, that's Siberia right there next to it, so that got to be close. That white part got to be Alaska, or this cross, that got to be Alaska right there. See how we done bust them up just that fast? It's so easy to bust them up. That is over here. The gooey land is here. You got North America, South America, Antarctica, which is ice. Australia, which is a part of Africa, broke off part of Africa, Australia. Then you got Africa. So what else you got there? Then but they raising, and they show you that all that shit is a mountain. Euro Mountain all the way back over to Canada until they get to the ice part. That's Alaska. And that shit flat as fuck. So stop thinking that shit up over your head and they spinning and they tilting. That shit flat as fuck. They gotta show you this shit, man. Too late in the game. Too good to go to Austin. I'm gonna do this shit tomorrow. I'm gonna do this shit when I'm home. I gotta start by making my video, man. I gotta start making my video, man. Boom. But that's where all that shit come from. That's what's missing. The Tatarians, Georgian, that was Georgia, all that shit. They want, Georgian, all that shit located at. That's where all that shit located at, man. That's where all that shit located at. Georgian. Back to the same spot. That's spot right. I was already got them geographical locations. So you where this shit. This and they telling you that you gonna flip around the backside of a ball and come back on goddamn around the globe. Hmm? And this is what they said. Okay. These are the people who created the religion, man. These are the people who created the religion. And that tutorial map is very important. It's very important to the motherfucking hat truth. How these motherfuckers be playing us like some goddamn fools. Now they go Russia. I'm gonna go retrace that bitch. That's a sign, see, man. Don't you see that sign like that Russia right there? And now that shit's about to see Japan over here. That's the barren shit, all that sign shit. They just switch shit up and play with your head and tilt you and tell you you're spinning and tell about some gravity pulling you and then God and the devil gonna get you and you got all that dumb shit. See? I go back. Go back tight. Cause this, that's why I like what you do it like you do it. Boom. See? Russia, Siberia, Bering Strait, Alaska. Hmm? Hmm? You done, Tiger? Hmm? What kind of fool is we, my nigga? Hmm? And they got you thinking all this shit is up over your head, up by a pole that's tilted and spinning on some water and all that shit, and that shit laying right over there in the northeast, in the direction of northeast. Hmm? There's the Bering Strait. So is this not the same strait of water? What that shit say on there? I gotta look that up. That says copy. I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna fuck them up to the far direct right of us, like they got it on the direction across. That shit is once you goddamn tilt that 23 point, they gonna be right in that position where it sit at on that motherfucking 1587 Monte map that I told y'all I want to study the fuck out of. So that is separation of the strait. That Russia. So what do we gonna flip it around and turn it upside down and spin it on a ball and fuck you again? That's what I'm showing. Put it up though. Hmm? Now I got the United States instead of Alaska right there next to Russia. Hmm? So what Canada at? Hmm? See, Canada and Russia ain't nothing but mountains. And the ice is Alaska. And then on our side, it's Antarctica. But it's on our side. It's on the southwest side of the earth. Hmm? In the northeast, killing our ass. In the east, just chilling. And letting the beast do all the damage because they know the beast can't win. The beast, only way the beast can win is with this robot technology guinea pig ass shit. Because by nature, they gonna lose sun wise, reaction wise, by all that shit they gonna lose with us. That's goddamn not being extinct and goddamn beating the cancerous sun from beating their ass. So what's a Terry at? Why they got two? See what I'm saying? How they flipping the script? How they play? Play like they want to play. As long as y'all keep believing these motherfuckers. I got goddamn something too, man. I gotta goddamn try to find me a motherfucking pre-meal, man, so I can goddamn go to sleep and holler at my people that come through and say, hey, Fed, you know what I'm talking about? But this flat motherfucking power, man, the truth don't need no motherfucking help. This Fed money, I ain't never stop going. This Melanation 3GD, man, it's all about the melanated people, man. I ain't trying to smell. They already told you that African ain't the same as the Negro with it in their book. And so I got all that shit in my safe over there. But not the Negro. Ham is the father of all the progenitor black races, all except the Negro. They say Ham ain't none of the Negro dad in North America. See, the Negroes only exist in North America because we already the better the beast, we were usurped. See, once they put that tilt on it, they gave them a tilt to goddamn usurp the land of the United States. But the tilt was for the usurp the United States of America. And once they usurped, they started putting their business down as states. They would get bypasses at first, but they started making states, and they created 48 of these motherfuckers. Hawaii and Alaska, we gonna fuck them over with Hawaii and Alaska, and we gonna fuck them over with New Guinea. More time before we go. Look at Siberia. What's Siberia at? Go. Where the landmass at? Where the landmass at? Right there. Boom. So Sengola become, it's another one. Sengola become, it's another one that become just Sengola. Right. But I can't think straight. Can't think straight where I got that shit from, because I looked it up already. One thing I want to know, one picture, Slahuda. What is Slahuda? Or something. It might be Slahuda. And it's La Buddha. Yes, La Buddha now. It is Slahuda. And it's a Buddha now. And did I look it over, y'all? I thought I did. I told you about Angola. It's all we get it all took care of. But till I come back, man, y'all keep this thing flat, man. The truth don't need no help, man. It don't bend, break, not fold, man. All we gotta do is stand up behind the truth, support the truth. Man, I'm gonna flatten this bitch away. I'm gonna flatten. That's a boom.